There's nothing worse than spotting a game that dropped by surprise, only to discover something rotten at its core. I'm talking about the Oblivion Remaster that released earlier this year. Despite the obvious visual upgrade, I experienced periodic stuttering while exploring the countryside on my system, as well as frustratingly low frame rates during city rainstorms, and even some visual glitches from basic settings tweaks. So after only a few play sessions, this digital doppelganger was already collecting dust on my game shelf. And this got me thinking, will co-developers Bethesda and Virtuos repeat this technical nightmare with an inevitable Fallout 3 or New Vegas remaster? My name is Paul, this is Load and Behold, and today we're discussing how one broken remaster could foreshadow another gaming disaster. Do you think I'm blowing the Oblivion Remaster's issues out of proportion? The data suggests otherwise. Digital Foundry in particular highlights how frame time problems across PC and consoles result in constant stuttering for end users. But numbers only tell part of the story. I absolutely adore Oblivion. The soundtrack, the story, and the scenery. I lapped it all up on Xbox 360 back in 2006 when it released, and it helped build my love for video games as a genre. So when the remaster was unveiled, emotions ran high, and the joy of re-entering Cyrodiil again gave me tunnel vision. The artistic upgrade can't be understated. From character models to shrubbery to cities and towns, everything had gotten a facelift. And under the hood, a modernized UI and a revised leveling system gave the game some much-needed quality of life improvements. This was not a reimagining. It was just a visual remake. So the exploitable systems from the original were still there, which gave me a comforting sense of familiarity. But once I took off the rose-colored glasses, I saw the Oblivion Remaster for what it was, a troll in Daedric armor. Don't get me wrong, the 2006 release had its share of complications, but something called a remaster, especially one released nearly 20 years later, should have gotten more than just a visual tweak. Industry chatter suggests these performance issues stem from its original game code. Others blame limitations of Unreal Engine 5 for the stuttering problems. Either way, Bethesda's never been known for technical polish. And in hindsight, this surprise release feels like an attempt to nostalgia bait fans into spending money before reviewers could warn them otherwise. I do remain a hopeful skeptic. Maybe the problems in Oblivion and its 2025 remaster couldn't have been fixed by any studio. And by the way, if you've had a different experience, let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. But let's not stop there. The Oblivion remaster isn't just a one-off disappointment. It's a symptom of a deeper issue. Bethesda has always walked a fine line between ambition and instability. When everything clicks, you get the absolute magic of Skyrim. But when it doesn't, you get games that collapse under their own weight. This brings us to Fallout, the next franchise, in my opinion, in line for a remaster treatment. The iconic blend of atomic age optimism, retrofuturism, and dark humor puts Fallout in a league of its own. Paradoxically, wandering the wasteland with Dogmeat, scavenging for caps, and fending off radroaches while a jazz station plays on your Pip-Boy creates strangely cozy moments amid the nuclear desolation. And now, thanks to the Fallout TV show, that world has never felt more alive. The series has given us deep glimpses into factions like the Brotherhood of Steel, a quasi-religious military group obsessed with hoarding technology, and the Vault Dwellers too, who've continued to live their lives underground, oblivious to what's happening right above them. One of the show's breakout characters, the Ghoul, perfectly captures the series' tone, a former family man turned radiation-fueled bounty hunter who's been walking the wasteland for centuries. Where the games once defined the universe, the show is now introducing it to new audiences and setting a new standard for storytelling in this world while it's at it. Fallout 3 and New Vegas still stand tall as genre icons, but even fans admit Fallout 4 stumbled with its main story and dialogue depth. What happens when fans of the show eventually pick up a controller? There's no doubt in my mind they'll be comparing whatever comes next to that cinematic benchmark. Which brings us to a tricky crossroads. The franchise is celebrating milestones. Fallout 4 turns 10, New Vegas is about to turn 15, and Fallout's experiencing a full-blown renaissance. And that's exactly what worries me. Because if Oblivion has taught us anything, it's that nostalgia sells, even when the product doesn't hold up. So what happens if Bethesda and Virtuos try to cash in on the hype with another remaster? Well, partially we don't have to wonder because modders have already done some heavy lifting. Veteran modders like Gopher have created mod packs to modernize New Vegas, and projects like Tale of Two Wastelands merge Fallout 3 and New Vegas into one seamless experience. The community has already proven they can do what studios can't or won't. But let's be honest, I'd buy an official Fallout remaster in a heartbeat. Nostalgia's a powerful drug. The real question is, though, why should I? Why should any of you? Why should any of us pay $60 for a technically flawed remaster when fans have already done it better? That's why Starfield worries me. It's the clearest window into Bethesda's current mindset, and worryingly, their future. Think of Starfield as the canary in Bethesda's coal mine. It was meant to prove they could still build massive, awe-inspiring worlds after an 8-year hiatus. Instead, it shows how far they've drifted from what made their classics great. The game is resource-hungry, but doesn't look or run better than titles from a decade ago. Space travel is a bit of a disappointment. Jumping between loading screens instead of seamlessly flying through the stars is not what anybody wanted. Planets begin to blur together too, as handcrafted detail gives way to procedural repetition. And there's a startling lack of alien life to discover. For a game about exploring the galaxy, Starfield can feel weirdly empty. If this is Bethesda's new blueprint, Fallout 5 might inherit the same problems. I want to be clear though, Starfield is not a disaster, but it does reveal a disconnect between Bethesda and its fans, and it could signal a deeper misunderstanding of what players actually want in the next Elder Scrolls or Fallout. Maybe I'm being too harsh, or maybe we're watching history repeat itself. Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you can, and as always, thanks for watching.